Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and here's the headlines. Ministry of National Defense studies rearrangement of local military organization. Japanese-funded mine clearance equipment for Vietnam project launched. Applying technology in e-commerce to promote exports. On the afternoon of February the 28th, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, chaired a conference assigning agencies and units to research and make proposals related to local military organizations. The conference aims to assign tasks to military regions, Army Corps, Academy and functional agencies to research and make proposals related to local military organizations, thus unifying perspectives and proposing options for rearrangement of local military organizations. General Phan Van Giang requested agencies and units to thoroughly grasp and seriously implement Resolution number 18 of the Party Central Committee on continuously innovating and rearranging the political system to be streamlined, efficient and effective system. The Politburo's Resolution number 05 on the organization of the Vietnam People's Army for the period 2021-2030 and the following years. Conclusion number 126 of the Politburo and the Secretariat on a number of content and tasks to continuously arrange and streamline the organization of the political system in 2025. Accordingly, agencies and units need to urgently review, research and propose defense and military tasks in localities across the country, especially proposals on local military organization, task of building defensive areas, training and combat readiness work, recruitment and the building of militia and self-defense forces, response to non-traditional security challenges and other aspects of work, and measures to improve the quality of human resources and implementation of home foreign policy. At the same time, agencies need to focus on researching combat tactics, protecting the fatherland and the mechanism of leadership, command and management of military and national defense tasks, proposing amendments, supplements and completion of legal documents on national military defense. On February the 28th, the Department of Finance, the Ministry of National Defense, held a conference to hand over directorship of the Department of Finance. General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, chaired the conference. The conference to assign the directorship of the Department of Finance from Major General Lưu Sĩ Quý to Colonel Đỗ Đình Mỹ was held. Over the past time, the agency has well ensured both regular and unexpected missions of the Ministry of National Defense. In addition, it has actively advised the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense to lead, direct and perfect the mechanism and methods for ensuring and managing the financial resources and assets of the military, ensuring that the military's financial work is always carried out in a legal, public and transparent manner. General Phan Van Giang asked the department after the handover to focus on developing the state budget plan for national defense missions for the 2026-2030 period, estimating data for the 2026 budget in accordance with the provisions of the state budget law, and promptly advising the state to ensure the budget of the Ministry of National Defense to carry out both immediate and long-term defense tasks. In addition, the unit is asked to proactively advise and propose policies to the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense to take good care of the troops' life, especially those at grassroots units stationed in remote areas, border areas and islands. On February the 28th, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Minister of National Defense, chaired a conference reviewing the building of a new decree on arrival of foreign military ships in Vietnam. Based on the results of the summary of Decree number 104 for the period 2012-2024, the Ministry of National Defense Department of Foreign Relations has coordinated with the Ministry of National Defense Department of Legal Affairs and other relevant agencies and units to develop a draft on the decree, replacing Decree number 104 in the direction of inheriting the relevant contents, adjusting and supplementing a number of new contents, ensuring compliance with the provision of Vietnamese law and international treaties signed by Vietnam. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến asked the Department of Foreign Relations to continue to coordinate with relevant agencies and units to synthesize comments, complete the draft decree, and report to all levels, ensuring quality and progress. On February the 28th, the launching ceremony of the project receiving Japanese-funded mine clearance equipment for the Vietnam National Mine Action Center took place at the Vietnam National Mine Action Center, or VNMAC for short. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Minister of National Defense, head of the Standing Office of the National Steering Committee on Settlement of Post-War Unexploded Ordnance and Toxic Chemical Consequences in Vietnam, and Japanese Ambassador to Vietnam, Ito Naoki, co-chaired the ceremony. This is one of the priority projects of Program 504, aimed at reducing the risk of mine accidents, creating a safer environment for socio-economic development. It also provides modern equipment and specialized training programs to improve the management and mine handling capacity of the VNMAC, creating a foundation for sustainable development. The project also contributes to strengthening the extensive strategic partnership between Vietnam and Japan. During the 2010-2016 period, Japan provided $5.5 million for survey and mine clearance projects in Quảng Trị and Hà Tĩnh. This cooperation affirms Japan's strong commitment to supporting Vietnam in overcoming post-war consequences and promoting sustainable development. Earlier, at a meeting with Ambassador Ito Naoki, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến sincerely thanked the Japanese government for its effective support to Vietnam in overcoming the post-war consequences. In addition to post-war unexploded ordnance, Vietnam has about 3.2 million victims of Agent Orange dioxin, many of whom are second and third generation. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến hoped that Japan will expand its support for these victims. Ambassador Ito Naoki emphasized that aid and support activities for Vietnam to overcome post-war consequences are necessary and meaningful humanitarian activities. He expressed his hope that the projects will facilitate Vietnam's economy and Vietnam's development goals in the coming time. Aviation medicine is a specialized major requiring investment in modern equipment and special medical expertise in order to improve the quality of healthcare and assessments for pilots, especially military pilots, as well as serving pilot recruitment. In recent years, the Air Defense Air Force Medical Institute has actively implemented international cooperation and expertise exchange to take advantage of the medical science technology advances and improve the capacity of its medical staff. This made-in-USA modern computer system assessing the psychological status of pilots has recently been equipped at the Institute of Air Defense Medicine, Air Force. And this is a decompression chamber simulating an aircraft cockpit. These modern devices are the result of the exchange and cooperation effort in the field of aviation medicine between the Institute and its foreign partners over the past time. For psychological assessment, we check numerous factors, such as thinking, memory, or focus ability. For example, focus ability, we may provide tests on a 49 number board or the Udon test board. For thinking ability, we may use a test machine or conduct paper tests that fits the rules. For spatial orientation, we mainly use compass tests. In addition to examining and caring for the health of military pilots, the Air Defense Air Force Medical Institute is also the only unit of the Air Defense Air Force Service to fulfill the role of health checking for military pilots' recruitment. In order to improve the quality of health examination and care for military pilots, in recent years, the Institute has cooperated and sent its officers and doctors to attend training courses abroad. while inviting foreign experts to come to provide training and exchange experiences with the medical staff. Such international cooperation activities have contributed significantly to improving the capacity and expertise of its personnel. Over the past time, we have coordinated to organize research and professional exchanges with military doctors from such countries as Russia, the US, Japan, the Philippines, Thailand, and Australia. The cooperation contents include research on factors affecting the flying profession, the capability and mandate of pilots, flight crew members, and flight students, as well as conferences, seminars, and exchanges of aviation medical expertise, flight safety maintenance, and airborne search and rescue operations. International cooperation has made an important contribution to improving the quality of health assessment for pilots as well as new pilot recruitment, thereby enhancing the combat strength of the Air Defense Air Force, contributing to safeguarding the national airspace. Coming up next, Vietnam-Russia diplomatic ties observed in Moscow. Applying technology in e-commerce to promote exports. Vietnam-Russia relations are built on the solid foundation of comradeship, wholehearted and selfless sharing and goodwill between the people of the two countries. Over more than 3/4 of a century, the fraternal relations between Vietnam and Russia have traveled along a difficult path. However, the affection they hold for each other remains unchanged. On February the 27th in Moscow, the Vietnamese embassy held a ceremony to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between Vietnam and Russia, January the 30th, 1950, 2025. About 600 guests, including many leaders of agencies, departments and localities of Russia, attended the event. Vietnamese ambassador to Russia Đặng Minh Khôi laid stress on the pride in the trustworthy friendship between the two countries over the past 75 years. As Party General Secretary Tô Lâm wrote in his congratulatory message, on this glorious journey, Vietnam and Russia have always stood side by side, and President Putin also acknowledged. Over the past decade, the Russia-Vietnam relationship has proven its true strength. Meanwhile, Special Representative of Russian President on International Cultural Cooperation, Mikhail Svitkoy, stated that for many generations of Russians, the love for Vietnam comes naturally. Mr. Svitkoy emphasized that over more than 3/4 of a century, the fraternal relations between Vietnam and Russia have traveled along a difficult path. However, the affection they hold for each other remains unchanged. This was also the opinion of many guests attending the ceremony. Our friendship was built in the time of Soviet Union. The friendship has been tested over time, and the two countries have been fostering the relationship. At the ceremony, the participants enjoyed a special cultural program with music and outside performances and tasted the flavors of traditional Vietnamese cuisine. On February the 28th, the Investment and Trade Promotion Center of Ho Chi Minh City, in collaboration with Alibaba.com Vietnam Company Limited, organized a specialized export conference themed Unlocking Potential, Export Breakthroughs 2025, Technology, the Key to Global Export. The event attracted over 200 businesses, speakers, and experts in digital technology and AI, discussing applying digital transformation to export through e-commerce platforms, thus supporting businesses in the food processing, agricultural products, and handicraft industries to access new, effective export methods that are suitable for the digital transformation trend. At the conference, businesses will be provided with basic and in-depth skills and knowledge to access technology and overcome technological barriers when participating in the e-commerce floor to export goods. Many e-commerce platforms such as Alibaba.com Vietnam are ready to support Vietnamese businesses to exploit e-commerce potentials in export, emphasizing the latest policies and solutions specifically designed for Vietnamese businesses to promote online export and, more importantly, practical solutions to improve the digital transformation capacity of Vietnamese small and medium-sized enterprises were also highlighted at the conference. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.